Hey folks, good to have you back here. We are going to start a new type of series. We want to always reach out to everybody, anybody, regardless of who they are and what they do, to try and help them increase their levels of health and performance. But we're also seeing that we treat a lot of CrossFit athletes, and that's what we're really passionate about, and we want to give something even more back to that community, more resources for it to use. So we're going to start to do a little bit more CrossFit based things here as far as in a video series. So this is the first one. It's been coming up quite a lot with athletes and something that I've been teaching a lot on. CrossFit is all about what's called threshold training. If you're a coach or if you've been to the seminar or certification, there's a huge section on what threshold training is. And just to kind of keep everybody up to speed with it, in a nutshell, it means balancing a high level of intensity. Intensity is the thing that gets us results, with a high level of technique, and then we maintain that 1-to-1 ratio between high intensity and high technique. What's very easy to do, definitely in the CrossFit community, if you've seen any of my seminars, we talk about what I have to treat the most. And the answer is not the shoulder, it's not the low back, it's not the knee, it's the ego. It's the brain. It's understanding what we're trying to develop in a fitness program that is CrossFit. And it's all about this threshold training. This is sexy. This is what people want to do. Oh, my Fran times this is my Diane times, sweet. What we really care about for longevity of CrossFit, which is what it's really all about, is this. This allows this to happen over long periods of time. So many times we're seeking this 1-to-1 ratio, but we find that we're overloaded on intensity. And what an overload on intensity does, it naturally means that we're breaking down on technique. If we break down on technique, that word right there comes into play very quickly. Even if we're unbalanced slightly on the intensity side, we're going to look at developing a vulnerability to overuse. So even though, hey man, I did a workout but I feel okay, if I broke down here, I am much closer to this, and we always want to be moving away from that. But on that same token, we don't want to take the approach of saying, hey, we want to do water aerobics and only yoga, because, hey, we need to load our system. We need this intensity for results. Like we said, this is what's going to provide results. So if I'm way too high on technique and I'm not increasing my intensity, I decrease my results. I'm not really getting anywhere and nothing's happening. Yes, I'm getting some physical benefit. I'd rather see this than this. But at the same time, if you've been CrossFitting for 12 months or 18 months and you still look and feel the same, we might have to look at changing this around and really starting to increase intensity on top of your good technique. The idea is to always balance these out across the board. When we do that, we get our peak potential. There's so many fads in the fitness industry that we see. Right now it was P90X, and it's a good program, but it's one of those things you see on an infomercial. Same with Insanity. It's one of those things that you see on an infomercial that you might do for three months, think it's really cool, and then you never do it again. The great part about CrossFit is based off of community. It's based off of longevity. We want people to continue to do it over years and years and years to get this peak potential, what we call physical potentiation. You're at the top of your potential in every way. In order to do that, we always have to keep this in mind so that we're not leading into this. Rarely do we see this. It can happen a little bit, but this is the thing that we want to see, that people are avoiding this and just continuing to get better and better over time. So understand threshold training, which is always a match, a beautiful marriage between high intensity and high technique.